Hey, it's John Davis here. We're gonna do Storytime Friday. Alright, so let me tell you about the moment in my life that everything changed and I went from being a good person and an amazing kid, lots of potential, to having an eye-opening experience and realizing not everybody's your friend, not everybody has your best intentions, and people are mean, especially kids. So, let me give you a little background. I'm a very young kid. I'm a baby. I'm adopted by a Jewish family who still raised me to this day. Great family, great upbringing. Couldn't ask for a better scenario. And I've talked to people on the other end who got adopted, not in the same scenario spectrum as mine. So I know how blessed I truly am to even be here. With that being said, I was raised Jewish. I went to temple on a regular weekly basis. You know, ours is on a Saturday we go. You know, it's kind of like a church thing. Nothing different. You just go and pray. And I'm in the FM school district, right? And music is the only thing that is holding me together, because at this school, nobody likes me. I'm getting bullied. Nobody really talks to me. It's fine. No big deal. Shit happens. I'm not the only one. So this guy named Matt Papworth, I remember his name because, you know, that's how bullies work. And at this time, my mom had some different issues with cancer. And I have memories of going to New York City at some of the major medical complexes and hospitals. Now, mind you, this is in mid to late 80s, early 90s. So, to give you an idea of time frame in how sped up cancer treatments have been, the radiation back then was horrendous. You were pretty much just exposed to a nuclear reactor. It is nothing like it is now, okay? So my mom, the back of her hair fell out, and she grew it out and was awesomely able to grow it all out, so it fell down over it, so you would never even know. So I had to deal with my mom having cancer at a very young childhood age. And, you know, on top of going to school and learning music, I would go and drive now 6 hours away or more and sit in a hospital. I have great memories of this, okay? And finally my mom beat it, right? But the only downside is the radiation nuked her immune system. So what I mean by that is the common cold you and me would get, okay, and we get over in, we'll say, a week or less, with antibiotics or without, okay? My mom, her immune system was so shot that common cold would turn instantly into pneumonia every single time. Every single time. So she was very vulnerable, and we all had to be very careful and wash our hands a lot, and, you know, that's just how my life was. So, I remember it exactly. 8th grade. So in 8th grade, I remember I turned 13 because I also had a bar mitzvah. Haha. So I'm in Eagle Hill, in Fayetteville Manlius School District. And how that works is half the year you take technology and you learn about electrical stuff and making stuff. Cool. Make a lamp or something, figure it out, right? Cool. The other half is home ec. So you learn how to cook, you learn how to sew, you learn how to do normal household things that every human being should know how to do. With that being said, it came time to switch, and we're in home ec, and I'm learning how to sew, which, you know, as a landscaper, you rip a lot of shit, so you learn how to either fix it or, you know, walk around with a hole. So, with that being said, you know, I'm making this hamburger pillow, and I still have it to this very, very day, upstairs. And I'm, you know, sewing it all together. I got the lettuce and, you know, everything like sewn together as a hamburger pillow would look. And I'm just about done. And I'll never forget it. The moment my life changed, and I became a completely different person. Literally, a completely different person like that. What happened was that bully, Matt Papworth, whispered in my ear, "I'm glad your mom has cancer." Who says that? No, but for real, who says that to another human being, let alone at the age of 12 or 13? The fuck? Like, I'm 38 now. I could look back, and I don't think it's funny, okay? I think how I was brought up, and how amazing it was, minus this human being and situation. You know how shitty this dude had to have for parents, and how shitty of a house, like a home situation this dude must have gone home to fucking be saying shit like that to another human being? Think about that. His home life must have been horrendous. Because no human being would, with a heart, or having good parents at all, teaching you morally obligational things that they should about right and wrong, you know, and obviously that's wrong, because, you know, what the fuck? So back to the story. He whispers, "I'm really glad your mom has cancer." And I don't know, something in my brain clicked, and I stopped sewing, and I just sat there. And he turned back around. Nothing happened, you know what I mean? He said it with a smile, too. And started laughing and turned back around to keep going to his project. And I just sat there. And inside my brain, steam was just, wah! Dude, can't even imitate the noise, you know? Steam pouring out of my ears, just a whistle blowing. Just, fucking at that very moment, I fucking stood there and I didn't know what I was gonna do. And it just kept building and building and building. And literally, probably 1 fucking minute, 60 seconds went by. And at that 1 second, I freaked the fuck out, stood up, and in out loud I said, "I can't take this anymore!" And I grabbed my pencil. Do you remember what Yikes pencils are? They used to have those like indents for your fingers, you know, for where they go. And they come in different colors. So what I mean by that is the outside color could be purple, but the inside, when you sharpen it, is green or red or, you know, blue or whatever. So they had these things called Yikes pencils, and they were great, you know, because, well, I love the 90s. And I grabbed it and I said, "I can't take this anymore!" And I just started fucking stabbing at him in the neck! And everybody looked at me like I was a fucking lunatic. The best part is he's got a fucking pencil sticking out of his neck. It was fucking great. So everybody's looking at me like I'm a fucking lunatic now. I just randomly stabbing people. And the home ec teacher is mortified, horrified. Everyone's just looking in shock. And this kid starts crying. And I'm standing over him with a full head of hair. And, you know, because I'm 13. Sorry. And the nurse is like, "You have to go," or the teacher's like, "You need to go to the nurse now, both of you." And I looked at him the whole fucking hallway down there. Just looking at him. Didn't say a fucking word. We just looked at each other. And I had a look I've never experienced or he's ever seen before, because that was the end of that. We get to the nurse, and the nurse is like, "Jesus Christ, what happened?" Because the guy's, you know, holding a fucking pencil sticking out of his neck. Fuck. And, I'm like, "I'm fine, he's not. Can I just go back and finish my hamburger pillow?" And the nurse looks at me again like I'm fucking had two heads and I'm a lunatic. I'm a lunatic. And she goes, "You just stabbed another human being in the neck, Jonathan. You cannot go anywhere. This is a crime." And I said, "Well, it's his fault. He started it. If he didn't whisper in my ear he's really glad my mom had cancer, none of this would have happened." The look on her face, she turned slowly and looked at Matt Papworth and said, "Is that what you said to him?" And he looked straight down and said, "Yeah." And I said, "See? None of this is my fault." Well, obviously, some of it's my fault, but, you know. I don't know. When you hear those stories about be the guy who doesn't start the fight, be the guy who ends the fight, right? Finishes it. Well, we both got sent to the principal's office where I say the same story. And everyone now looks at me again like I have two fucking heads. "Jonathan, we raised you better than this. You don't go around stabbing people." He said he's glad you had cancer. I'm not dealing with this shit. He's bullied me my whole life. He broke my finger. He fucked me all up. Nah. I got suspended for a day. He got suspended for 2 days. I remember getting picked back up on the next day, right? Fucking everybody, when I got on the school bus, everybody fucking looked at me like I was nuts. Well, I guess you probably shouldn't talk shit about people having cancer, especially their moms. Especially when you don't know what kind of shit is going on in their head and what they're fucking dealing with on a daily basis of watching their mom get sick, watching their mom fucking lose her hair. So, what did we learn, class? What is the golden rule of the 4th grade gym class? Do you all remember? It used to be hanging on a banner above those pads on the side of the walls. You remember what it said? Golden rule. Treat other people like you want to be treated. Rule number 1, baby, of life. Don't ever forget it.